The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to TVWAN News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr.
And I'm Rex Later. Join me for sports later in the bulletin.
In this edition, hope renewed for cancer patients. Medang challenged with implementing PMIZ project, and Norris gives support to Santos Cup clubs. The Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs will be hosting a series of regional validation workshops from 14th August to the 22nd of August. The workshops will validate and finalize the draft on National Internally Displaced Persons Policy for Papua New Guinea. The IDP policy initiative is a first of its kind for the country, aimed at addressing social issues and challenges faced by displaced citizens across the country. Secretary Philip Leo said over the years, PNG has witnessed a significant increase in internal displacements due to natural disasters, tribal conflicts, climate change, and development projects. Key objectives of the IDP policy include protection of rights, humanitarian assistance, coordination and implementation, community participation, and governance and institutional framework. Since taking up the role as the commander for NCD and Central, Assistant Commissioner of Police Peter Guinness has made a few recommendations to boost the standard of the police force in NCD and Central Province. Some of the recommendations are to increase police manpower and build police stations in areas that do not have police stations.
Following the unprecedented civil unrest on January 10th, former Assistant Commissioner of Police for Northern Command, Peter Guinness, was moved to take up his new role as the ACP for NCD and Central to restore normalcy in the city. He remains in this position, taking over from ACP Anthony Wagambi Jr. Since taking office, he has made recommendations to boost the standard of the police force in NCD and Central Province. Some of the recommendations he made were to increase policeman power due to the increased population rate and to build police stations in areas that do not have a police station.
Assuming the role of acting commander, I have made recommendations to the executive management to increase the capacity of policing service, particularly in NCD Metro, because of the increased population, industrial development, and the demand for policing services across the city. I have made submissions to the executive management to build 3 mega stations for each of the 3 electorates in NCD, and I have also recommended that management amend the structure of NCD Central Command.
Other recommendations he made is through a request submission to the RPNGC management to amend the structure of NCD and Central Command. Included in the amendment structure is to create positions that will be occupied by members of the force who are currently working at police station without being attached to a position in the force.
Create positions on the structure to accommodate the career pathway of many of our members who are currently working at stations but are not attached to a position due to limitation on the current structure.
Guinness said other recommendation he made is for the management to rehabilitate the existing police barracks infrastructure, where many are at their rundown stage.
Also made recommendations for the management to look at the prospect of rehabilitating the existing barracks infrastructure and to build new barracks accommodation purposely for members attached to the mega stations as part of this proposal of development plan.
The ACP said these recommendations are made to ensure police officers and their families' welfare are well looked after before they go out to conduct policing services to the people of NCD and Central Province.
At this stage, I cannot elaborate more on this proposed plan, but it is ambitiously presented and it will certainly make a big impact on the lives of our members and the citizens living in NCD Metro City.
Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Meanwhile, ACP Guinness urges police personnel in NCD and Central to work together, bonding through the spirit of unity to serve the people of NCD and Central wholeheartedly. Guinness said they must gain public trust back, which was lost in the January 10th civil unrest. ACP Guinness added that the event is marked down in the history of the RPNGC as one of the worst events that has lowered the morale of frontline police officers.
You all to fear God, embrace the values of discipline, and work together as a team to serve the interests of our people and the government. It is going to be tough because the people have lost trust and confidence in the constabulary after the events of Wednesday, 10th of January 2024. The police strike that led to the riots, looting, arson and deaths across the city will remain one of the darkest moments in the history of the constabulary. I must admit that this incident alone has greatly affected the morale and general conduct of our members in frontline policing across NCD and Central Province.
Imelda Kamadan's hope was renewed after her husband became the first patient to undergo radiotherapy at the Angao Memorial Provincial Hospital this afternoon. It has been 7 years since the Cobalt-60 was used at Angao. Prime Minister James Marape was emotional as well as he cut the ribbon to signify the official reopening of Angao's radiotherapy services.
Over the last 7 years, many cancer patients have only been receiving palliative care. This means that they live on pain-killing drugs until they die. This has been the sad reality in PNG until today, when Prime Minister James Marape emotionally reopened Angao Memorial Provincial Hospital's radiotherapy services.
All right, it gives me a great pleasure to reopen equipped oncological unit here in Lei Angao. A few years back I was here and a cousin of mine was outside. He said there's no, that was in 2018. We have no facility to serve us here and he passed on. That was the last time I saw him here. We all have family members who have passed on through cancer. It's really my great privilege to come here and open this a step at a time. We get to the destination our country deserves in having good health facilities.
The first patient to receive radiotherapy treatment after 7 years at Angao is Solo Eric from Southern Highlands Province. Solo's wife, Imelda Kamadan, said the 25-year-old has been suffering from tongue cancer for 8 months now.
Stalong pa times 10. Nas talamara sa daso na mi blau ito sa masin. Blau iti pawa na pawa ka na mito ting. Kodo sa. Pawa ka naman mo gore. No narabasik maro. Miti apa lusi live patan mo lusa. So mito ting. Pawa ko. Thank you lano. Saat lo kay misa. Samna ta mi so kilo strain na mis mo na mi ba blender. So misa isi blender. Bigo kumu abus. Bomble liga mita sole misa kasima da tulip na. Misa straining. Putulo blender chol na sa drink of soup. Amno sa kay 7 months yan no kay. Misa drink soup chol blender na first man ko pawai. Nami am master. Thank you.
All this was made possible through the support of Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited, a journey and a dream that started in 2019, which has finally been realized. Kamila Guare, TVWAN News, Lei.
You're watching TVWAN News. We'll have more stories after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
Welcome back. Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru challenged landowners and the Governor Ramsey Pariwa to fix underlying issues before the Pacific Marine Industrial Zone project in Medang province can be realized. The minister addressed landowners, impacted communities and the provincial government at the St. Benedict's Agricultural Technical School in Danip on the North Coast on Thursday. He was there to respond to speculations about the PMIZ project.
Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru met with landowners of Danip in Medang to discuss and answer questions surrounding the implementation of the Pacific Marine Industrial Zone project. During the stakeholders meet, landowners had their views, including spin-off opportunities and registered integrated landowner groups. During the meeting, Anna Dirao, representative of Harironab Cooperative Service, which comprises several landowner and impacted Harriers members, said she wants more landowner groups engaged with the government and external stakeholders regarding the PMIZ. Dirao also said Harironab Cooperative Society is willing to work with the government on mobility and scoping for the development of PMIZ. Former Medang Governor James Yale brought attention the PMIZ project becoming a milking cow for corrupt elites, while there is minimum to no development of the project to date. Mr. Yale said he would like to see the unemployment gap among youth closed through the implementation of the PMIZ project. Medang Governor Ramsey Pariwa acknowledged that it would certainly take some more years in order to get this project off the ground, and the government needs to take a strategic approach in addressing the PMIZ project. Minister Richard Maru acknowledged the gathering and clearly stated to the people of Medang that he has been hearing many speculations surrounding the PMIZ project, and that as minister responsible, he has come down to clear all these rumors of PMIZ especially about the project to East New Britain province. He clarified that the government is now the third landowner of the 225 hectares of land purchased from Hardy Tuna after landowners had sold it. He told the people that the project needs basic infrastructure in order for initial groundwork to commence. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
The 2024 Poponeta Arts and Music Festival Committee is set to deliver its second music event on September 15th and 16th with an exciting lineup of special guest musicians including Mariani Masani, Tonton Malele, Kande Dwayne and Alan Herove. Additionally, local up-and-coming artists will have the opportunity to showcase their talents at this annual event, which celebrates the rich cultural heritage of Ora Province. In Ora Province is set to come alive this September as the Poponeta Arts and Music Festival returns for its second edition. With a dynamic lineup of renowned artists and local talent, the festival is poised to celebrate the region's rich cultural heritage through music, dance and art. Headlining the event on September 15th and 16th will be star performers Mariani Masani, Tonton Malele, Kande Dwayne and Alan Herove of Sauga, a promising show-stopping experience for both locals and visitors. In preparation for the festival, Executive Director Stephen Kilanda, in a press conference today, expressed his enthusiasm for promoting Poponeta as a key cultural destination. The NCC pledged 10,000 kina in support of the festival.
Poponeta, we haven't been there, that part of the country, we haven't been there, so I really want to put a set of food in there. That's why I decided to make a couple of calls to you, and I talked to the First Secretary, and we now want to make a little presentation so that we can now want to be part of you and promote this culture and let's develop this industry together.
Kilanda emphasized the Commission's commitment to promoting, preserving and developing the region's culture in partnership with the Poponeta District Development Authority. The festival will also serve as a platform for community engagement and cultural exchange, contributing to regional tourism and cultural promotion. Cedric Kengi, First Secretary for the Ministry of Tourism, Arts, Culture and Border Security, echoed Kilanda's sentiments, noting the positive impact the NCC has had across rural areas.
Our culture is our identity. Unfortunately, it's dying out. We are looking forward to working closely with your office and how we can be able to promote our arts, culture, music. We are unique.
The NCC's financial support is expected to enhance the festival by providing resources for event logistics, artist participation and the promotion of Poponeta's cultural offerings, ensuring the continued success of this important cultural event. Water and power issues were part of the discussion with landowners of Medang's Pacific Maritime Industrial Zone. Minister Richard Maru said both were bold challenges and the provincial government needed to address it before the PMIZ infrastructure can operate. Meantime, Minister Maru highlighted that with no background in commercial fishing, it would be hard to start up the project. As a result, an MOU is being drafted for a partnership with RD Tuna Canners to commence this process to identify locals to engage in training. He said as soon as the MOU is signed, he expects all other aspects of development to start commencing with the National Fisheries Authority to be at the project location and for locals to start training with RD Tuna.
Serious weakness will affecting our ability to deliver PMIZ. The Marabe Rosso government wants to change that. Only 2 weeks ago, only approved submission to me. Also, national government now adding must go inside now holy man now. Now Nibla must buy and sell a wharf here, so we are 50% owner of the wharf. Nibla must buy and sell a cold storage, we are 50% owner. And the joint venture. So Madang must go send the captain the crew of the boat. Line people of the Philippines must transfer it somewhere technology come to Madang. You may run a boat, you may buy the piece, you may come inside. Number one time, you may buy supply factory AD. Time only got enough fish, we got 6 player hit in a boat, enough to look at the one black cannery, and you be ready to build him second cannery.
In Western Highlands Province on Thursday, August 15, the National Cultural Commission Investment Promotion Authority in New Guinea, Hagen and Digicel Mount Hagen presented checks to help fund the Mount Hagen Cultural Show, one of Papua New Guinea's oldest and most vibrant cultural events. Celebrated for over 5 decades, the show continues to attract traditional Sing groups from across the country, offering a lively display of Papua New Guinea's rich cultural heritage. NCC Festival and Events Manager Geno Rube, on behalf of the NCC, presented a 10,000 kina check to support the event. Mount Hagen Cultural Show Chairman Pim Mamindi thanked the sponsors, emphasizing the show's importance in educating the younger generations about the culture of the Western Highlands and Papua New Guinea. Total Energies, operator of the Papua LNG project, together with its international partners, has concentrated this year on enhancing health and education services within the project area of influence through its community support and development program. After the launch of health and education facilities in Wabo and Poroi II early in April and May, project representatives and guests came together with locals in the villages of Apiope and Evara in Kikori district of Gulf Province on August 13th and 14th to inaugurate additional community infrastructure developments.
Total Energies collaborated with Digicel Foundation to support the building of a double classroom in Apiope, a riverside village in Kikori district. This contribution follows 2 previous collaborations at Arehava, Harevavo Primary School and Orokolo Primary School in 2019. The new building will improve the learning environment in Apiope for the 162 students that currently attend grades 3, 5, 7, and 8 at this school. Additionally, the project equipped the school with a 9,500-liter tank. Papua LNG also supplied educational aids, solar-powered lights, various stationary items, sit-in facilities, as well as an office for the 4 educators presently employed at the institution.
All the output we want, but if there is no one to teach or no one to give cure, then they are just buildings. They are nothing else. So we need you people to teach the children. We need you, actually volunteers, to have or to deliver health support. I sincerely appreciate all the effort that you have made to ensure that these facilities are in place and will help to achieve the vision of the government. No one is left behind.
Having observed the Evara school's closure for 5 years because of the absence of educators, the project has also joined forces with the Gulf Provincial Education Division, National Volunteer Services, the local school board and community to ensure a volunteer teacher was appointed in 2023, aiming to re-establish education at the primary school. The newly opened double classroom and teacher's house will greatly improve the morale of Rodney Taria, the volunteer teacher, along with the community. Presently, the school serves students across grades 3 to 5. The community has also benefited from additional support like water tanks and additional supplies for students and teachers.
I'd like to appreciate effort that Total has put into making successful my children who will be coming into this classroom. And I hope that this classroom will be in good use and it will be fruitful for the children of Evara Primary School and neighboring villages that will be products of this primary school. Students of Evara Primary School, I want to thank Total. And I'm privileged to live in a house like this in my lifetime. Thank you very much, Total Energies, EPNG, PNG Limited. Thank you very much.
The facility will also be used by the NVS Adult Literacy and Numeracy trainers to conduct various training for adult participants along the Purari River communities. Maricela Kelaton, TVWAN News.
And now over to the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2574 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2499 US, $0.3752 Australian dollars, $0.2201 euro, and 36.95 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, oil closed higher, cocoa closed the day lower, and on the stock market. The Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll return with news making of abroad.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Add your kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for kimchi, and a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
Scale Rise brings to you some Scale Indie vibes this independence. Cashing out a total of 300,000 kina in prize money around PNG this independence. 4 fortnightly draws, 75 fortnightly winners, 300 total Scale Rise winners, and 1,000 kina Scale Indie prize for every Scale winner. Here's how to enter the promotion. Buy any Scale or Ori Rice product, write your full name and contact details on the back of the store receipt, drop your entry into the entry box in store. For more information, either check in store or follow us on our Scale Rise PNG page. Terms and conditions apply. Scale Rise, and buy you like it.
Welcome back. In regional news, Australia and New Zealand are doubling down on their commitment to a united Pacific. Following a meeting in Canberra, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon emphasized that the success of their nations is tied to the region's strength. Both leaders highlighted regional security as a priority, backing the Pacific Policing Initiative. Climate change, labeled as the single greatest threat to Pacific peoples, took center stage. New Zealand backed Australia's bid to co-host COP31 in 2026 with the Pacific. Meantime, they welcomed a Foreign Ministerial Committee's upcoming visit to help shape New Caledonia's future. Strict rules governing the export of American weapons to Australia will be lifted from next month as the three AUKUS partners look to share military technology.
of defence trade between Australia and the United States is expected to unlock billions of dollars of investment. Now, the United States has very strict rules governing its defence exports, but it will lift those so Australia can have licence-free trade to 70% of those defence exports. We've heard from the Defence Minister Richard Marles today. He spoke on RN, and here's some of what he had to say.
This is really important in terms of our ability to build our future submarines, but also to pursue that AUKUS Pillar 2 agenda of those new innovative technologies. So this will see a much easier flow of technology and information between our three countries.
Now, of course, this deal goes both ways, so Australia will lift defence export permits on more than 1,000 of those, so that Australian defence exporters can send more freely to the United States and the UK. There are some critics of this deal, though. They say that it effectively binds Australia to the United States defence export system, and there are some concerns that there is such an influx of from the UK and the United States, and the concern that will have on the impact that will have on Australian defence exporters, such as the manufacturers of the Ghostbat aircraft.
Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX and CEO of Tesla, has been invited to attend the 53rd Pacific Island Leaders Meeting, scheduled from the 26th to the 30th of August 2024. The invitation reportedly comes from the Tongan government, acknowledging Musk's previous assistance to the island nation following the Hanga Ha'apai eruption and tsunami in February 2022. In the aftermath of the disaster, Musk's SpaceX and Starlink services provided emergency satellite internet terminals to Tonga, aiding in the restoration of communication. This support has proven vital once again as Tonga faces an ongoing internet crisis after its underwater cable was damaged by an earthquake on 29th June. The outer islands of Ha'apai and Vava'u have been significantly affected with limited internet access. Conservationists are calling for deer to be deemed a pest across Victoria, saying their status as protected wildlife is stemming efforts to reduce their numbers. State and federal governments are working to lessen the environmental and agricultural damage caused by deer.
The deer Bill Barry keeps on his rural property in eastern Victoria are well cared for.
Come on, come on. Some people get gold fever, I've got deer fever. I just love them, they're just a great animal to look at, very majestic, the stags.
Wild deer are considered a pest in most of Australia, causing damage to crops, farming infrastructure and habitat, and biosecurity risks to livestock. But in Victoria, 8 species are protected wildlife on public land under the Wildlife Act. 6 of those species are listed as game, which means they can be killed by licensed hunters. Advocates say it's a mature approach that maintains the sustainability of hunting.
If they were to be removed from the game status, then they would not be subject to such regulations. The activity wouldn't be in front of everybody. You'd also lose public land access.
In 2020, the state government appointed an expert panel to review the nearly 50-year-old Wildlife Act, but it's yet to release the panel's report.
The Wildlife Act reforms are stalled, so we'd be keen to see that process reinitiated and reinvigorated.
It's the same situation in Tasmania where they are protected. Nowhere else in Australia are feral deer protected as a hunting resource rather than treated as the pest animal that they are.
Deer were first introduced to Victoria in the mid-19th century. Today they cover around 40% of the state, including here in Dargo and Victoria's high country.
Bill Barry has dedicated his life to deer, leading hunting safaris in Australia and New Zealand.
Quite a prestigious award for taking the biggest stag for that year.
He believes they should never be eradicated.
It'd be very degrading for the poor animals, any deer to go onto the vermin list. It's ridiculous.
We need that status overturned, but we also need to recognise when it comes to invasive species management, there is no stroke of the pen that is going to solve this issue.
It's a difficult choice with no clear answers.
Some families of hostages held in Gaza believe the latest round of ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas could be the last best chance to set their loved ones free after more than 300 days of captivity. The families have advocated tirelessly to secure the release of their relatives who were snatched on October 7th during Hamas' cross-border attack that started the war. Their hope that the latest talks could result in a breakthrough is tinged by 10 months of disappointment and the growing fear of a wider Mideast war as Israel faces rising tensions with Iran and Hezbollah, the Iran-backed militant group based in Lebanon. Roughly 110 hostages remain in Gaza after about 100 were freed during a brief ceasefire in late November. Throughout the war, the families of hostages have pushed on with anguish and despair, rallying Israelis to their cause, lobbying local and foreign lawmakers, pleading that someone put an end to their nightmare. The prices for farmland in Australia has tripled over the past decade, outpacing housing and the cost of living.
Is doing her daily check of some of the many thoroughbred racehorses at her agistment complex.
They're here to have a nice break, to relax their brain, to grow, just to have a break from the everyday rigours of racing. So we try to provide a nice calm environment where they can truly relax and have a holiday.
This is the Bellarine Peninsula on the coastal plain west of Melbourne, one of the fastest growing lifestyle regions in the country, where the influx of people is putting pressure on land use and land prices.
So yes, there are pressures. I think we're safe for a little while, and we certainly love living here and we love the peace and tranquility of it, but it's just reality. The houses are coming.
That's a common story, not just in coastal regions, but across much of Australia. Farmland values across the board have seen a recent meteoric rise.
It's at a stunning number. The land values have tripled over the last 10 years. It's been a strong run too across the decade in most parts of the country. We track the data each year and produce a report which does look back over 29 years, and around 280,000 transactions have happened over that period of time, but it really has taken off in the last 5 years, very strong.
In a banking career spanning 37 years, Andrew Smith of Rural Bank has closely charted farmland values, and never, till now, has seen such a sustained surge.
Yeah, we saw a real supply of rural properties in those peri-urban zones around regional cities, metropolitan Melbourne and Sydney, and people looking to move out.
The bank is the agricultural division of Bendigo and Adelaide Bank. Its annual farmland value report is based on an analysis of sales of more than 40 hectares in size, the prices and locations. The report also reveals who has been buying what land.
When you look at the number of transactions that happen each year, there's certainly those larger institutional type investors who might have been buying or selling, but it's really been dominated by the family farms and in most parts of the country as well. So that does require confidence, and I guess when you've got interest rates quite low and the appetite and bank balances fairly strong, there was a real sort of push to expand in that period.
And that ends the news segment. Join Rex Litter after the break for your news in sports.
Beauty is my business. But beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy. So bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing?
Bing bang bing, bum bum.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
At the PNG LNG project, we are proud of our long-standing partnership with the Kumuls, as they represent the hopes and aspirations of so many Papua New Guineans. Rugby league is more than just a sport. It promotes our shared values of leadership, teamwork, respect, personal integrity, and excellence. Lessons learnt on the pitch carry on throughout life and go beyond serving ourselves.
Welcome back. PNG's dream to have a national team playing in the Australia's National Rugby League competition, or NRL, is close to coming through, with Australian Cabinet's approval to support the cause. 2GB News of Australia this morning reported that the Cabinet under Anthony Albanese has approved 1.5 billion kina, equivalent to 600 million Australian dollars, to support the PNG NRL bid process. Albanese has been pushing for PNG to have a team in the NRL, which many believe is driven by the agenda of national security. The money will be spent in the next 10 years entering the NRL. The NRL is planning to expand to a 20-team competition, and PNG is considered to be one of the 3 new teams to enter the competition as early as 2028. PNG National Premier League competition heads into round 7 of the competition this weekend with entertaining match on the draw table. The headline match of the weekend will see first place Hekari United FC play Spirited United Highlands FC, who have been in great form of late. It's the clash of first versus third on the competition ladder. The match is scheduled for Saturday at the PNG Football Stadium in Port Moresby. Another match match for this weekend is between second place Gulf Komara FC and fourth place Ley City FC. PNG Football Stadium will also host this match on Saturday. In the other matches of the competition, Ley City Dwellers FC will be up against visiting Port Moresby Strikers FC, and FC Morobe Wawens play Admiralty Island FC to wrap up the round 7 matches at the Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium in Ley. PNG Rugby Football League Chief Executive Officer Stanley Hondina appreciates the input of Queensland Maroons women head coach Tahani Norris in supporting PNG's National Women's Rugby League competition teams. Norris has been running coaching and training clinics with Santos Cup teams since arriving in the country 2 weeks ago. PNG Women's National Rugby League competition has come into effect this year after almost a decade of groundwork. The competition looked great when the first ball was kicked at the Santos National Football Stadium to kickstart the competition 2 weeks ago. While the competition looks promising so far, there are some important areas of the game that players need to know, and that includes tackling techniques and basic rules of the game. In the last 2 weeks, Maroons women's head coach Tani Norris has been spending time with clubs and taking the players through what they need to know and understand. She has also been providing training to the club trainers, coaches and the technical officials. Her effort in growing women's National Rugby League competition in the country hasn't gone unnoticed. PNG RFL CEO Stanley Hondina said the PNG RFL understands that sharing knowledge and having resources like Norris to work with and mentor coaches and franchise staff is extremely important. The Queensland Maroons women's head coach said she would like to see the Women's National Rugby League competition grow here as it has in Australia. She said support from the local crowd is excellent and she would like to see this continue throughout the season. Norris is still in the country and is expected to see out the remainder of the women's competition before she returns to Australia. The last games of the regular season set for this weekend, Round 18 would also decide the minor premiers and confirmation of the top 6 cut-off mark, which is yet to be decided. Matches kick off Saturday, headlined by a double-header in Port Moresby, Vipers versus Wigman, followed by Dabaris and Miox. Gurias host Iso in Rabaul, while Eagles meet Cutters in Minns.
Results from this weekend's Round 18 fixtures would be crucial for the top 6 teams to consolidate their spots. While the minor premiership honours still up for grabs, however, for now, it's a toss-up between first and second, Eagles on 24 and Miox on 23 points. Eagles should easily account for Kimber Cutters in Minns tomorrow and could see the minor silverware heading to the Western Highlands since Eagles last won the Cup back in the 1990s. For Miox, their title defence will be put to the test tomorrow when they face a fired-up Dabaris outfit who are expected to come out with all guns blazing to keep their finals hopes alive. A win by Dabaris would give them a second chance to play finals footy again since their maiden appearance in 2022. However, a Dabaris loss tomorrow could open the door for Wigman provided they beat Vipers by more than 20 points to have a crack. At the Queen's Park in Rabaul, the Gurias are ready to welcome the competition cellar dwellers who are primed for the wooden spoon this year, Galfiso. Sunday's main draw card will feature the 2 Lae-based franchises go head-to-head at the Lae Rugby League grounds. Both teams are secure in 4th and 5th spots on 21 points apiece. Regardless, this is an equally important match for both teams and for the coaching staff to evaluate and re-strategize for the finals. It is expected the fans will come out in droves on Sunday towards the big showdown, as it is the last game in Lae for the season, with all the finals to be played in Port Moresby. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sport.
The 2024 QRL Host Plus Cup is almost at boiling point, as the battle for the top 8 intensifies with 2 rounds of season proper remaining. After knocking off fast-finishing Tweed Seagulls side at home last week, the hunt continues this Sunday for PNG Hunters, when they welcome back former coach Matt Schatz and his Brisbane Tigers to Port Moresby, with a hostile reception awaits at the National Football Stadium.
With the 2024 season maybe well and truly out of their reach, with 2 rounds left, the Matchers coach Tigers outfit are back in Port Moresby with a plan to spoil the party for the Hunters. The defending premiers from last year Tigers are in 11th spot on 21 points. Hunters in 7th place on 25 points. Hunters coach Paul Layton said they could not afford to be complacent against a team that knows how to win in Port Moresby. In his first season at the Tigers, the former Hunters mentor recorded a close win over his old team, the Hunters, 38-36 in round 3 last year. Ayton warned his men the Tigers are not coming here for a holiday, though they may not have much chance to making the finals, but obviously they want to finish their season on a high. Church would have his side up for the game as they aim for a strong finish to what has been a disappointing season that returned 7 wins and a draw.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I know he always brags about his 100% win rate at PNG, but jokes aside, it's really important for both sides. I know they don't really have a chance to make it, but you know they've come off a couple of good wins, and I know Churchy and I know the club, they want to finish off really well, want to finish their season off really strong, and they'll most definitely want to spoil our party. So we're just going to prepare really well like we did last week. I thought our preparation during the week was really good. right into the dressing sheds. You could sense a lot of individual focus. So that's all we can control is what we do, and that's all I'm going to ask the boys to do this week.
When recapping on last week's 42-30 win over Twin Heads, Ayton highlighted areas needed improving, especially in defense, and to be consistent for the full 80 minutes, regardless of what team they are playing or where they are on the ladder. He said they prepared well last week and got a win against Seagulls and have prepared well again this week.
So I'm just refocusing the boys on this team's not coming here for a holiday. They're going to come and play footy and they're going to try to win. And they're going to try to take those 2 points away from us. So we just got to be prepared for a tough game again.
On the injury front, Coach Ayton also confirmed Sonny Wabo and Valentine Richard are carrying niggling injuries, but hopefully not serious, and will be cleared by the doctor after scans. The Hunters have retained the same side that beat Seagulls, with only Manasseh Kai coming in for junior talent and will start off the bench. The Tigers have named experienced half Riles Jacks, who will captain the side, while Storm Marion Seve is in the centres, while former Rabbitohs and Queensland Maroons Chris McQueen is on the bench. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that wraps up the sports segment. Carol.
Thank you, Rex. And now we'll have the weather forecast for the main centres for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby mostly fine with chances of brief inland showers and drizzles. Daru partly cloudy with few showers and drizzles. Kerma partly cloudy with chances of brief showers and drizzles. Alotau partly cloudy with possible few showers and drizzles. Popondetta partly cloudy with chances of brief drizzles. Omase, Ley mostly fine with chances of brief showers and drizzles. Medang mostly fine then partly cloudy. Wewak partly cloudy with possible rain showers and thunderstorms. Vanimo partly cloudy with possible brief showers and thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau and Buka partly cloudy with few rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kavieng some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo and Rabaul partly cloudy with possible few showers. Kimbe mostly cloudy with possible evening showers. Highlands, Mount Hagen mostly fine then partly cloudy with chances of brief evening showers and drizzles. Goroka, Barnes and Kundiawa partly sunny with few rain showers in spots. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg partly cloudy with some rain showers in the evening. Ocean forecast for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea sees slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Seas sees slight with southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea sees slight to moderate with east to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Pacific Ocean sees smooth to slight with northeast to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, Kerma, Yule Island, Port Point to Samare Islands, seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 2.5 meters along warning areas. Waters of Samare Island to Cape Vogel and All Millen Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And Huon Gulf, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Finchafen through Vitiers Strait to Siasi and Long Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2 to 2.5 meters at times along warning areas. Waters of Medang to Wewak, Vanimo and northern PNG and Indonesian border, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2.5 meters along warning areas. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, New Ireland, East New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of West New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters, rising to 2 to 2.5 meters along warning areas. And that's been another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.